I'm Inspector Dave Mangan, Head of Divisional Roads Policing. As a police officer, I've attended many serious and fatal road collisions. Motorcyclists are particularly vulnerable. On the 11th of September 2013, I was present at a motorcycle accident. However, this time it was different. This time, I was off duty, riding my own bike, and the rider who was killed was my dad. My dad actually got me into bikes when I was probably about 10. He had an old bike and he used to take me on the back of it to watch the bike racing at Alton Park when I was a child. So it was something that I've always been into. Recently, over the last few years, he started coming with me with some other friends and we've been touring Europe. The day in question, we set off from Minehead probably about 8:30, 9 o'clock. Got to Land's End probably about 1 o'clock-ish, stopped for some photos and a bit of a walk around, and then started the return journey home. We'd had this long ride and I was the lead rider at this time, my father behind me. As we came round a corner, there was a perfect overtaking opportunity for myself as a lead rider. So I took it, changed down gears and went past all three vehicles in one overtaking manoeuvre. My father, he was behind me. He managed to overtake two of the cars and he was stuck between the first car and the second car. What happened next, as I'm about to disappear round a left-hand bend, I looked in my mirror and I saw my dad's headlights of his bike come out from behind the first vehicle, directly into the path of an oncoming van that it appears he hadn't seen. And he rode into that and unfortunately was killed instantly.
The accident that I attended was on a country lane. There were high hedgerows either side of the road. There was a van and a motorcycle involved.
I just think that he didn't see the vehicle, he made an error. And pulled out in front of it, and it was more than likely down to his level of fatigue.
The first reaction was denial, total and utter denial, and then I remember screaming and collapsing, and everything just collapsed within me. And from then on, but for Julia and for friends who came rushing out, I couldn't have got up off that floor. And then I had to phone my daughter in New Zealand, 12,000 miles away, and tell her that her father had been killed. And that was awful, because I couldn't put my arm around her.
If there's one thing to learn from my experience, is that later in the ride, you're not as sharp as you were earlier on in the day. Fatigue and tiredness set in and mistakes are made, so give yourself a greater margin for error. As bikers, we all know that mistakes happen in the last section of your ride. Your speed may be lower, but your concentration has got to be higher.
There's one memory that I have of the evening. And it's something that Dave had said to me. He said, "Michelle, when I got there, you know, I knew he was dead. When I saw him, I knew he was dead. I went over to him and I sat down with him. I gave him a kiss and I told him I loved him. You know, that was him saying goodbye to his dad."